Hello, my name is Valentino, and this video is an informal walkthrough slash playthrough on obtaining the Big Boss rank in Metal Gear Solid 2 on European Extreme Difficulty. Metal Gear Solid 2 is notorious for being arguably the hardest game in the main series to obtain the top rank in, mostly due to the 8 save limit. It also has challenging bosses and tight guard layouts that require a lot of practice and skill to overcome. If you are not aware of the requirements to obtain Big Boss, they are listed on screen here. Additionally, I will be playing through the game with Game Over if Discovered enabled and have a rule to not take any damage as Snake or Raiden, which is actually noted via the damage amount value on Game Over screens. Throughout this playthrough, I will offer insights on how to tackle each area and potential strategies you may use. I also provide suggestions on where viewers can potentially save. There are timestamps in the description for your convenience in case you want to skip to a particular section. Do keep in mind that this video assumes you have knowledge about the game's story, mechanics, and where to go. Now, if you are interested in a no commentary run, I do have one uploaded in my channel. It is also linked in the description below, should that be your preference. The version of the game that I am playing is the original PC release of Metal Gear Solid 2. However, all strategies here should work for the original PS2 release, HD Collection, and Master Collection editions. Lastly, I have installed a few mods for this game, which includes V's Fix, linked below, a turbo toggle, primarily for the torture sequence, but also to skip codecs and cutscenes, and a customized control layout for my Xbox Series X controller. You can also see this layout in the description and follow the input display at the bottom of the screen. Without further ado, let's get started. For this playthrough, I will be loading a New Game Plus save file, which allows us to skip Stillman's Bomb tutorial. I've also set it such that Snake and Raiden will have cool sunglasses, normally available on New Game Plus Plus. This playthrough is on European Extreme Difficulty, but all strategies here will work on Extreme as well. For an additional challenge, I have also enabled Game Over if Discovered, but this is not necessary for Big Boss rank if you want to disable it. Once you are in the tanker, after skipping the cutscenes, we can pass the guard on the left, through the gap, and go through the door. You can also go over the top ledge on the right if you are nervous about getting spotted. Wait for the door to shut, and then run out to take out the guard down the hall. You can either shoot him or groin punch him to save some ammo. For guards that are alone, I typically groin punch them. In either case, you can pick up some additional M9 ammo in one of the lockers, and then go over to Deck A. Deck A is fairly simple. Take out the guard on the right first, and then the other guard further back. Afterwards, head up to Deck B. For Deck B, you can hold up this guard and knock him out, or you can use a technique called a trank roll, where you shoot a guard while he's held up and then roll into him to get a knockout instantly. In either case, go up to Deck C. For this camera, you can actually just loop the stick around the corner and run alongside the wall to avoid being seen. If this is too difficult, you can also hug the wall and take your time as you need. For Deck D, go through the left door and go to the left side of the room. You can shoot the guard or hold him up like I do. In either case, run alongside the wall such that you'll be outside of the camera's vision. You'll go through the doors and up the stairs. You need to be decently fast to do this, but it's not a big rush. Skip the cutscenes and go through the door. We're going to start the first boss fight, Olga. We're going to use a safe and consistent strategy to beat her. At the start of the fight, run to the right side to pick up some additional M9 ammo, then position Snake to crouch just behind these skid marks on the floor. I've paused and circled the area here for visual reference. Once you've crouched, go into first person view. If you did this correctly, there should be a mini cutscene where Olga is confused because she cannot see you. At this point, you need to shoot her leg in first person view. Afterwards, she will
I've
continually
been with
run
the
back
unit
and
since
forth
I was
between that
born.
spot,
I
and
grew
you are
up
going
on
to
the
shoot her leg
battlefield,
each time.
conflict, and victory were
After
my
the second
parents.
cutscene, where
The
Olga
unit
says,
is
"You're
my
not
life,
stopping
my
us,"
family.
you will need to briefly re-aim your gun where her leg is.
I have no one, nothing except the unit. Nothing else matters to me. Whoever you are, you're not stopping us.
After this, we head back to the previous room and pick up the USP ammo. We go down the stairs, turn right, crouch, and then use our M9 on the guard when he turns around. Afterwards, we are going to do a rapid crawl under the sensors once the other guard leaves. To do this, we need to repeatedly tap the weapon menu button between equipped weapons. This is faster than crawling normally, and it will let you escape without having to deal with the left side camera or the guards. Head down the stairs after. Now for this next room, give yourself a bit of space, then shoot the guard when he stops walking. Afterwards, shoot the camera with a USB. We just need to wait for this guard to turn around. Afterwards, we take him out, make a slight detour to the right to get some additional ammo, and then go back to deck A. Here, you'll crouch and take out the guard on the left. Afterwards, get up, move down very slightly, crouch, and shoot the other guard between the rails. This can be a bit tricky, but not too difficult. Now, hold up this guard and take him out immediately with a headshot. We're going to do the same thing to the next two guards that are downstairs below us.
Freeze.
On this side, walk up the stairs slightly and stand on your tiptoes by holding the item and menu weapon buttons or aiming in first person to take out the guard on the left. Another guard will come down shortly and notice your presence, but you can shoot him before he triggers an alert. Afterwards, make your way up and proceed through the door.
Who's there?
In the next room, we're going to focus our aim on the guard coming out of the door and ensure that he does not call his radio in time. You can shoot the wall to distract him in case you are not confident. Once he is taken out, go to the left corner of the room, stand on your tiptoes to take out the Sentex controllers without alerting any other guards. Afterwards, you can crawl on the left side to take out the other two controllers. This next part is pretty simple. Walk past the dead body, and after about two hall doors, you can shoot a guard in the distance. Right before you get to the end of the hallway, stop and then shoot the guard who is jamming out to music. Afterwards, you'll go through 5 hall entrances, stop, line up your shot, and then knock out the guard who is sleeping. Now, once we're done with all this, go behind the pipes to get some more M9 ammo. Afterwards, go down the hall to initiate the guard rush fight. On European Extreme, you must take out 8 guards and then 3 at the very end in a row. In my unfortunate opinion, there is no great trick for this fight. Your best bet is to take out the guards as soon as they first come into sight where possible. I like to give myself more room and not move up in case the guards start walking towards me. Once you take out one of the 3 initial guards, any subsequent guard will walk towards the arena in a linear fashion where you can line up shots to take them out. One thing to note is that when a guard initially enters from the right, their bullets almost never actually hit you. It is only when they pop out again that you can likely get shot. This is the best time to hit them if you can. Otherwise, the best thing I can recommend for this fight is not getting too greedy and using audio cues to hear when they stop firing, then try to take your chance. After you've cleared out the 8 main guards, there is a brief pause before 3 more come out, but they are very easy to pick off with the M9. If you can beat this, then in my opinion, the worst part of the tanker is over. Congratulations.
At the moment, every industrialized nation on the globe knows the specifications for Metal Gear. Worse yet, so do a number of rogue states.
The last part of the tanker will be taking pictures of Metal Gear Ray. What you first want to do is ensure that your regular camera is set to your previous item and that you also have the M9 ready to go. Go down the ladder and then rapid crawl under the projector to avoid being detected. You'll hang back and then shoot the soldier walking around. You can either crawl or roll over these grates to sneak past the guards into hold 2.
With Ray, the hundreds, if not thousands, of Metal Gears that exist all over the world are no longer a threat. The blind rush to nuclear proliferation will be... This weapon will render all other Metal Gears obsolete. Nations building up their own Metal Gear force will think twice about the
Now for
nuclear
hold number
threat.
2, wait until the soldiers switch their view, then roll over the grate. Peek over the corner to take out a soldier that is walking around. Afterwards, you'll stay tight around this block and then rapid crawl by the guards without touching them. It looks scary, but it's not too hard. Once you're clear of the guards, get up, roll past the grates, and head into hold 3.
More different in nature from the Navy's. Theirs is a program.
For hold 3, take out the guard on the left and position yourself between these 2 boxes. You'll take a picture of Ray's front left here. Move to the middle behind all the guards. Take a picture of the middle. Do the same thing between the other 2 boxes for the front right. If you are having trouble with pictures, try making sure that Ray's wings and the entirety of its head are within the picture shot. Go to the back right and take a picture of the Marines logo. Make your way back to the computer on the bottom right of the room and press the action button to finish up the tanker chapter. Skip all the cutscenes, but do not save here. We are going straight to the plant chapter.
We, the Marines,
Make your way to the elevator room as normal. Do keep in mind before you interact with the node, you can drag those guards to the lockers at the start of the room if you do not want to deal with them. Otherwise, use the action button on the node, skip through the codec calls, then go down to the bottom right of the room and you should see a guard lying down. As soon as the guards start to get up, mash the fire button to choke him a few times, release him, go into first person view, and then groin punch him. Afterwards, look at the guard nearby the elevator. He will notice your presence, so you need to hide between the boxes nearby. When the guard on the left starts to turn around, knock on the wall with the punch button, then run out the right side. The other guard will be distracted by his knocked out buddy, so you can make it to the elevator no problem. You will notice throughout this playthrough that I will cartwheel as Raiden, as it can be a very slightly faster way to clear distance, especially for clear or linear paths. Try to integrate cartwheels into your playthrough where you feel comfortable doing so. Instead of making our way directly to Stillman, we are going to detour and pick up the M9 as it will make other rooms quite a bit easier. Anyway, distract this guard and go to the right to go to Strut F. For the bridge portion, you'll want to cartwheel to the end as quickly as possible to avoid being detected by the cipher or the guard. It is a little tight on the timing, but it's not too bad. Once you're in Strut F, go to the right room, pick up the M9 and some ammo, then just get out of there before the guard turns around. On your way back, take the lower route and then shoot the guard on the other side of the stairs, pick up the chaff grenades, and otherwise be on your way. Afterwards, all you have to do is wait for this idiot to turn around, distract him, and then go to the AB bridge. Take the right side path, shoot the guard, and then shoot the guard on the left. Do be mindful of the noisy grates that you can cartwheel over. We are basically home free at this point, so just skip over the cutscenes and head over to Strut C. We're going to pick up some chaff grenades on the way there as well. We could pick them up later while we're doing the bomb disposal route. It doesn't really matter. Here, you can reach Stillman's tutorial, but on a New Game Plus, you can actually skip over it. Afterwards, you can save the game, and we'll move on to the next segment.
Jack, when you get
To start off, have your weapons set to the M9 and the coolant on your previous. Make your way down and stop just before the corner, then have your coolant ready. When you see the guard, spray him with the coolant, then knock him out with the M9 or a groin punch. Afterwards, go to the right washroom and freeze the bomb by the mirror, then make your way out to Strut B. Before you cross the bridge, switch to your SOCOM and then aim to destroy the cipher. If you hit the camera, it only takes one bullet, otherwise, it takes 3 shots on the drone itself. Afterwards, switch back to your M9 and then your coolant on previous. Head down right, and then use the action button to close the door, revealing the bomb. Freeze it, and then go down the stairs. Aim at this guard and shoot him when you see the other guard's flashlight appear in the back. Then shoot the other guard when he walks down the stairs. If you shoot the first guard too early, the second guard will radio for backup. Afterwards, pick up some SOCOM ammo and then go out the door. You need to shoot the 2 cameras here so we can disable them for later on. On the bridge, you'll want to either run or cartwheel to the corner of the door, then quickly aim and trank the guard on the right side before he spots you. Auto aim will help you line up your shot if you're close to the guard. Make your way down, and you should avoid detection from the other guard. Here, you can just cartwheel to the left side and head up the stairs, completely ignoring the guard without any worry. Go down the left side of the boxes to avoid detection by the guard, then hold him up for a knockout. Afterwards, freeze the bomb on the other side of the fence, and then go down the right side, also picking up some chaff grenades on the way. Now for the next bomb, pick up some M9 ammo, and then head down the stairs to open the locker. We're going to knock out the following guard and drag him to the locker to ensure he's out of play completely. In European Extreme, guards are only tranquilized for 40 seconds max. We don't want him to call for backup or wake up, so this is the easiest way to deal with him. Do not worry about the other guard seeing you, his vision is terrible. Before you leave the door, you'll want to go into first-person view to ensure the guard is not looking, and then you can make your way out the right side to the Strut F bridge. This area is simple. Go down the stairs and shoot the guard on the opposite side, then go across and back up the stairs to the top entrance. Before entering Strut F, make sure your coolant and M9 are equipped. For this room, we are going to spray the guard, trank him, quickly move up, and then shoot the guard on the other side before he sees us. You can fire a distraction shot at the wall if you're a bit slow. Afterwards, wait by the rail and then shoot the guard when he moves to the door. You may need to crouch to get a good angle. The other guard will check on him shortly after, and then you can shoot him. Then, go to the left side, use the action button to swing over the ledge, then the crawl button to drop down. Switch to your coolant, freeze the bomb, get off the ledge, and we're going to quickly pick up some stun grenades here. Afterwards, run up the stairs, and you'll be out of there before any backup actually gets called in. After you skip the codec here, wait a few seconds, then throw a chaff grenade. When it goes off, you're going to shoot the guard on the top tower, and then we're going to rapid crawl over Claymore Mines before the chaff grenade finishes. There are 6 in total that you're going to pick up. If this is too difficult for you to do, use the chaff grenade, take out the guard, then destroy the ciphers while they are disabled before picking up the claymores. Now, Strut E is a bit tough, but otherwise not too difficult with some practice. Have your SOCOM and M9 equipped. Go to the edge of the door to take out the guard before he spots you, then move to the rail by the conveyor belt. Stand on your tiptoes to take out the 2 guards in the back, then a 1 guard in the middle right. Shoot out the 2 cameras to your left and right with your SOCOM, then make your way to the middle conveyor belt. If you did this quickly enough, you should see a small package just leaving the conveyor belt, which I have paused and circled here. The next package is going to be the bomb, so you need to have your coolant ready. Slightly tilt the stick to follow the bomb as it moves. Afterwards, shoot the final camera on the left, then get the hell out of there by going right and up the stairs to the heliport. After you finish the codec and made your way up the stairs, make your way to the right of the boxes and trank the guard. Go 1 box up and then shoot the guard on the far opposite side of you. Go to where the plane is, crawl, and then freeze the bomb underneath the plane. After skipping the codec, we're going to pick up these stun grenades by the passed out guard and then a box on the way out. This box is crucial to pick up for later, so have it ready to equip. Once you're back in the parcel room, shoot the guard right by the stairs immediately, and then equip your box. You'll make your way up and hide by the conveyor belt. When the guard turns around, you can run with the box on and then make it to the DE connecting bridge without getting spotted. For the bridge, run while holding the auto aim button. You're either going to shoot or hold up the guard and then cartwheel into him. This will knock him down, and then you can run into Strut D without any problems. Strut D is quite difficult. You need to trank the guard immediately to your left, then shoot the one on the right. Go down the stairs a bit and shoot the other guard on the top floor. Then go to the center with your box on for extra camouflage. The guard will notice you and then start to walk up. You're going to flip over the ledge and mash the action button to catch the lower ledge. Press it again to rise up. Use the action button to open this grate, and then freeze the bomb. Stand on your tiptoes to shoot the 2 guards on the upper left floor. Then you're going to want to re-tranquilize the guard in the center. Then make your way to the middle of the floor to shoot the guard on the top right. Open the grate and then freeze the bomb ASAP. Tilt your stick up to freeze the bomb underneath the stairs. Skip the cutscene, then go back up the stairs and re-equip the box for some extra camouflage. This room is much more difficult on European Extreme because on Extreme, the guards are knocked out for a few minutes, so you have plenty of time. For this room, just switch to your SOCOM and take out the camera quickly, then take out the guard with the M9 before it gets too close. Afterwards, you're going to pick up Sensor B in Strut C. Now, we need to disarm a bomb at the bottom of Strut A. We have 200 seconds, which is more than enough time. Keep in mind, before we go to Strut B, we do need to shoot out the Cypher again on the bridge. Now, as you recall for Strut B, since we took out the cameras last time, we do not have to worry about them since they will always be deactivated. We also don't need to go to the room where the guards are. For the A-B connecting bridge, you're just going to repeat the same process of shooting the guard on the right and then making your way to Strut A. Now here, we can just go to the left side and ignore the guard entirely. Before we go down to the platform that takes us to the dock, we are going to take out the guard on the roof and then pick up some additional M9 ammo.
Freeze.
As you make your way back to the dock, you're just going to freeze the bomb located in the corner up here. Also, try not to miss input going for a swim like I did. In either case, make your way back to where the elevator is to start the fortune fight. This is where we're going to save. One quick note before you start the fight and save, make sure that your box is set to your previous item, as we are definitely going to need it for this fight.
Hang in there.
When the fight starts, immediately equip your box and start moving to the right. Every time Fortune shoots twice, you should turn around. This is especially important so you don't run out of real estate to move. We equip the box because Raiden will turn quicker when he has it equipped. One thing to note is that when Fortune shoots a barrel, you need to immediately get away before it explodes in flames. You can tell if a barrel has been shot if it starts to leak oil. After about 22 shots, she's going to shoot the ceiling lights, so be wary to avoid damage. I had enough cover to camp in the left corner and then booked it to the right side, going back and forth. Now at any point, if you do get hit, do not panic. Get up, re-equip the box, and start running to the furthest corner again. Switch directions as needed. Now as you just saw a few moments ago, Fortune shot the left barrel. That was my last major obstacle to feel safe to run across the room. Once it exploded, it was pretty simple to follow the strategy of switching directions after 2 shots. After the elevator scene happens, you want to hold direction to the furthest corner and then turn around after 2 shots. When Fortune is reloading, run to the nearest corner and then start running again when she's about to shoot. After the fight is over, equip your box and carefully walk around the perimeter of this wall to avoid claymore mines, which are hidden beneath the floor. We are going to need to make our way to Strut E to fight Fatman. Take out the guard on the opposite side of the room, then lean and wait for the other guard to turn around. You can either take him out or cartwheel over him. Either is fine. The strategies for the next few rooms are otherwise pretty much identical to before. The only difference is, for Strut F, you don't need to take out the bottom guards, and for the EF connecting bridge, you don't have to worry about the claymore mines. However, for the EF connecting bridge, you should still use a chaff grenade to avoid the ciphers. Now, normally, I would rather save during Fatman rather than Fortune, but she was proving to be a bit difficult for me to get by with no damage at all, and I did not want to constantly repeat the entire bomb disposal route if I failed. If you're watching this video without caring about a no damage run, you should instead save during the Fatman fight instead of the Fortune fight. To start the fight off, freeze the bomb on the left and go around the box, curving yourself around the bullets that Fatman shoots. When he is reloading, shoot his skates and then his head with the M9. If you are quick enough, you can get 2 headshots in. Make your way to the second bomb. You can either freeze it entirely or only slightly to make Fatman come back to you. I froze it entirely. Equip your SOCOM and the M9, then get to chasing Fatman. You need to stay on top of him by holding down the auto aim button while running, then fire 6 SOCOM shots to knock him down. If you're too slow to catch Fatman, he will start planting bombs all over the area. You can either try to catch Fatman and stop him from planting more bombs, or try to keep up defusing the ones he's planted after shooting him. If there are any bombs present after you knock him down, he can start the detonation timer when he gets up, so be wary of this possibility. Because I was doing a no damage run, I played the fight a lot more carefully, as Fatman skating into you can cause damage, which would be an immediate reset for me. Consequently, this gave him more time to plant bombs, but normally he doesn't do a lot of damage on his own. Now, as you saw, if Fatman starts to plant 3 bombs, you can switch to a slow but safe backup strategy instead of trying to freeze his bombs, which I will now demonstrate. On Extreme or European Extreme, once Fatman plants 4 or 5 bombs, he will start an animation where he sticks his arm out and says a voice line to begin the timer. If you do a single punch during this animation, before he sets off the timer, he will try to repeat this animation again. Because he cannot start the timer without completing this animation, we can loop Fatman with a single punch each time until the fight is over. If Fatman has planted bombs, but the timer has not started, then you do not need to freeze them after you knock him out. It is important to note that you can only do a single punch to keep this loop going. Doing a double punch or a full combo will eventually knock him down. Afterwards, he will be invincible and then start the timer. While this strategy is slow, Fatman is a fairly difficult boss due to his RNG and how he decides to move around the arena. He's also personally my least favorite fight in the game. I was okay with taking a bit of extra time to guarantee a no damage win. For what it's worth, this strategy also saves a lot of ammo for your endgame total, if that is a concern for you. Besides, the extra time we spend here is not going to make a difference for a big boss rank anyway. On that note, it's not very interesting to watch me repeatedly punch him, although it is quite satisfying, so I would recommend skipping to the timestamp that you see here to where I finish the fight. Once we beat Fatman and defuse the bomb that's underneath him, we need to get the AK-47 to sneak into the Shell 1 core. This part of the game, in my opinion, is fairly easy, so we don't really have to stress about getting caught or dying, which is why I was okay for this run, saving a bit earlier on Fortune. After you finish the cutscene and the codex, put on your BDU and make sure your box is set to previous. Then make sure you have the M9 equipped with chaff grenades as well. Equip your box and make your way down to the parcel room on the side of the belt. You're going to head back to the EF connecting bridge. Put your BDU back on, throw a chaff grenade, and make your way down to Strut F. When you enter Strut F, you're going to want to do a full kick combo as a buffer before you go down the stairs. That way the guard will not see you immediately. Go into the storage room by the right door and then take out the guard. You may need to fire a distraction shot into the wall if you cannot get a good angle on him. Afterwards, grab the AK-47 and some SOCOM ammo, then head back up to the EF connecting bridge. We're going to throw a chaff grenade again, and we're going to go across the left bridge. Keep running or cartwheeling to avoid falling through the panels. Do keep in mind before you enter the Shell 1 core, make sure you have your AK equipped and your previous weapon set to none. In this area, guards will not cause an alert when seeing you as long as you have both your BDU and your AK equipped and you don't do anything like cartwheel or bump into guards. Go up, press the elevator button, and then make your way down to BF2. Here, we need to grab the directional mic. Head down the left side and follow the path until you turn into the main room. Wait for a clear opening when the guards move, pick up the mic, and then go back to the elevator. There are going to be some small cutscenes of guards entering, but you don't need to worry about them. When you get to any elevator from now on, make sure you press the button twice so that it will arrive faster. Afterwards, go to BF1. Now for this part, we need to lean against the wall and tap the punch button to make a guard walk outside. Wait until the guard has his back to you, then unequip your AK and press the fire button behind the guard without any directional input. You can choke the guard a few times, hold the fire button, and drag him to the retinal scanner. Now in New Game Plus, Ames can spawn in many different spots, some of which have a lot of guards nearby. If the guard spots us with the directional mic, it's an immediate game over. There is a trick we can use to avoid guards spotting us immediately when we're switching weapons. When you find Ames, do a full kick combo near him. When riding kicks, hold the item menu button and first person view button. Navigate to the directional mic, release the item menu button while still holding first person view. The guards will still think you have the AK on you. Afterwards, point the mic towards Ames and press the action button. After we get past the scene where we switch to our AK, we are going to save. And when we reload our save, the game will no longer be in a caution state that is otherwise mandatory after you find Ames. This makes the next section much easier.
Jack, how's the mission going?
Fine.
We'll start off the save by waiting for the guard to poke his head out and then trank him. Afterwards, head up the elevator and go to floor 1 with a chaff grenade. Curve the stick around the elevator panel and then lob the chaff grenade while doing so. You'll hide underneath the camera and then wait for the chaff grenade to blow up. Shoot the guard on the left, then on the right. When you get outside to the bridge, you want to wait about 6 seconds for the cipher to move. Afterwards, shoot out the 3 ciphers and then the guard on the top left. He won't be able to hear or see you shoot out the ciphers, so you don't need to worry about that. Keep in mind, before we go back to Strut F, the bridge panels will not be repaired when we return after the Twilight sniping section. Try to cartwheel to leave as many panels intact as possible. It's not a big deal if you do drop some, it just makes returning a little bit slower. Here, we are just going to pick up the PSG-1 in the bottom right corner of the top floor, taking out the 2 guards here in simple fashion with coolant spray and trank, then we'll go back to Strut E. We'll be getting the PSG-1 trank variant later, we're not going to worry about it right now. After you're done this, go back to the bridge and then to Strut E. For Strut E, all you have to do is throw on your cardboard box, hug the belt, and then run across the left path to reach the door. For the connecting bridge afterwards, we just book it across as there are no guards on the top level. You do need to be a little bit quick as there is a guard behind us on the lookout points who will catch us if we take too long. Now Strut D is much easier than before. You just take out the guard to your left, then the guard to your right, throw on the box for a low profile, and walk across the wall to avoid being spotted, and that's it.
Nothing here.
On European Extreme, there are 13 Semtex controllers we need to shoot. Most of them are in pretty obvious spots, as you can see. You can shoot them with either the PSG-1 or the SOCON, depending on your comfort. There is one on the bottom platform that does require you to stand on your tiptoes to hit, but otherwise, most of them are fairly easy to see. For the ones that are on the cipher, you need to hit the controller itself, not the cipher. Otherwise, the bridge will explode and you get a game over. For the controllers that are on top of the ciphers, I would recommend using the PSG-1 and taking 1 pentazamine to shoot them out. Once you've cleared out all the Semtex, the Harrier fight will begin. The Harrier is a fairly easy and otherwise scripted boss fight once you learn its timings. Pick up the Stinger and pop a few shots into the Harrier. I got 3, sometimes you can get 4 or 5 if you shoot behind you before it leaves. It'll always go to the right at the start, so prepare your shot and fire accordingly when you hear the Stinger lock on. Before the Harrier shoots you, you can use the action button to hop over a rail. During this animation, you gain invincibility frames. This is an easy and also flashy way to avoid the Harrier's flyby shooting attacks. When the Harrier becomes visible after its first attack, lock on with your Stinger, fire the missile, and track the Harrier so that the missile stays active. If you do this correctly, you can get quite a bit of damage here, as you see. If the Harrier gets to half health or below, it will go right into the third phase where it carpet bombs the top level. You need to go down to the bottom floor, because otherwise the attack will kill you immediately. After carpet bombing the top level, the Harrier is going to cycle between 4 attacks. Flyby shooting, missile barrage, flyby shooting again, then Gatling gun. For the flyby shooting parts, you can avoid them using the hanging trick that I showed previously.
I'll let you go out in style.
For the missile barrage attack, you can run up and down the stairs repeatedly to dodge the incoming missiles. You can also lean against the wall with your SOCOM and do pop shots, which do give you iframes to avoid getting hit. I'm not very good at this, so I just go up and down the stairs. After he's done, he will stall for a little bit in the air, so try to aim for the body of the plane and get some shots in. I also messed this up, unfortunately. My Stinger went all haywire trying to lock onto him, and he got off relatively scot-free. Again, try to aim for the body. For the Gatling gun attack, crouch in this corner and wait out his bullets. As long as you don't fidget or move around, the Harrier should not hit you. Afterwards, you're going to repeat the cycle until he's dead.
Is that the best you can do? I'll let you go out in style. What the? Take this! Whoa! Go to hell! Ah! What the? Ah!
You're going to ignore the prompt to save from Rose after the Harrier fight, and now you have a few options. You can either cartwheel over the middle platform to the other side. I have died way too many times doing this, so I'm going to take the safe route instead. We can at least rapid crawl to make this process a bit quicker. Along this path, you just have to run across. You don't need to cartwheel or do anything fancy. You're going to hop over the ledge, skip the cutscene, and then stand on your tiptoes to shoot the guards once the front guard turns to the right. You may need to lower your aim again after shooting the first guard to get the second one.
Up and check the situation.
Afterwards, cartwheel over the gap and use the rail to get across. Make sure you have your BDU equipped before going up the ladder, as it gives you some extra camouflage. For here, immediately go into a crawl by the corner and start rapid crawling. You will be quick enough to go over the panels that fall and the guards will not see you. Once you're done this section, you can hug the wall and then switch weapons to make crossing the next gap a bit quicker.
No, Alt, I'm going to go in my pants. Nobody's looking, right?
Skip the cutscene, run across the path, then use a chaff grenade after you hop over the ledge. You can pick up some extra chaff grenades and PSG-1 ammo up here. Then you're going to proceed to the Shell 2 core by cartwheeling over a gap and then hugging the rail to cross over. You're going to skip the codex and cutscenes again, and now we're off to pick up the Nikita. There are no enemies here, so you don't have to worry. We can pick up some extra ammo and chaff grenades, then go down to B1. Now, if you have turbo here, you can toggle it, then tap the punch and action buttons to swim and avoid your oxygen depleting. If you don't, you can still lower your oxygen depletion by mashing the action button as well as the punch button to swim. Even if you can't, it's not really a big deal to swim through this section. There are plenty of areas you can get up for air in case you need to do so. Just follow the path here otherwise to avoid the mines, pick up the Nikita, then we will make our way back to the elevator. On hard, extreme, and European extreme difficulties, the President is sleeping and we need to wake him up. We can fire a Stinger or Nikita missile at this wall to do so. Afterwards, we will head back to where the duct in the wall is, navigate the Nikita missile to the electric board behind the President to disarm the door. If the President goes towards the board, you will have to go back to where you woke him up, fire another missile to scare him back to the middle, and try again. It's very annoying when he does this, but the President will die if he's in front of the electric board when it is shot, and that's an instant game over.
What is that?
After we finish the cutscene where the President dies, we're going to go into this duct and then pick up some additional Stinger ammo, which can be useful for the upcoming fight against Vamp. We're going to make our way back to B1 and otherwise take the same path we took before to pick up the Nikita.
I took these photos.
After we open up the door, we can also pick up the PSG-1 Tranquilizer variant in the middle of all this rubble. Be sure to slowly swim around any mines you see, because on European Extreme, they are an instant kill. Lastly, we're going to skip all the cutscenes, and then we're going to save when we're about to fight Vamp.
Hang in there.
Luckily for this fight, we can cheese Vamp super hard. When the fight starts, use your M9 and headshot him while he's doing his twirling animation. Afterwards, shoot the water twice with the stinger to force him out. Then, do a punch-punch-kick combo over the ledge. Raiden will automatically catch himself. When Vamp is glowing red and walking over to you, he will try to slash you with his knife when he gets close. Use the action button to get up right when he is about to attack, because you are invincible during this animation. Afterwards, we can loop Vamp by punching him, walking through his model before he swings his knife, and then repeating the process during the cooldown. You can get up to 6 or 8 punches reliably, and even 10 if you're quick. However, you do not need to be quick in order to do this loop, just consistent. Do not worry if you're only able to get a few punches in. Do remember, however, that Vamp's knife is a one-hit kill on European Extreme. Be careful with your timing. Using the D-pad is helpful for Raiden to bump through Vamp's model, which is what causes this loop to be successful. If you do mess up the loop and Vamp escapes, shoot the water twice with the stinger, and then hang off the ledge again. Vamp may do different attacks like knife throws, in which case you need to time your get-up to avoid being hit. Luckily here, he mostly jumps around and then walks towards us again, so we can get up, knock him out, and finish the fight. Afterwards, go through the right door and begin swimming. In a normal run, I would pick up the body armor here, which is amazing for the Tengus, Rays, and Solidus fight. However, this is a no damage run, so I end up skipping it. If you are doing a normal big boss run, I strongly recommend you take the time to pick up the body armor. Pick up the Pentazamine, and then go grab Emma. Her oxygen during the swimming portions is quite low, but there are plenty of places to surface for air throughout this area, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Do note when you're holding Emma, you cannot toggle turbo. You must manually hold the action button to guide her through the walking sequences. Anyway, we're going to make our way back to the elevator through this path. Emma is scared of the bugs, so you need to put her in a chokehold or tranquilize her to bring her to the elevator. For this next part, there is a very specific way you can move to avoid getting caught by the guards. Grab Emma and go straight down to touch the wall. Then turn left. When you see the lounge area, walk straight down to the couch, turn hard to the left, and then straight down again. If you did this properly, the guard will not notice you or Emma. There is a cutscene coming up that cannot be skipped, but you need to re-grab Emma after it. Walk to about just before the corner with Emma, let go of her, and then walk to this box. You're going to perform a double hold-up on these guards and then tranquilize them both. You need to be pretty quick after the cutscene happens to avoid them turning around, but it's not a crazy tight sequence. Re-grab Emma and then head up the stairs, stop just before the corner, and then shoot the guard by the doorway. Then take Emma outside with you. When you are here, throw a chaff grenade and then head out slightly onto the bridge. Stop just about by the second panel to take out a guard that's above you. Then afterwards, you're going to take out the two ciphers in front of you and below the bridge. Afterwards, grab Emma again and start moving towards the end of the bridge. There is another guard that you need to shoot on the left. You may also have to reshoot the guard on the top lookout. Spray the right side of the fire with your coolant to create a path. If you spray the base of the fire, it will go out quicker. Re-grab Emma, we are almost home free. For this room, pull out your M9 and shoot the guard in the hallway immediately. Then, fire a distraction shot at the far wall. If you do not fire this distraction shot, the other guard will investigate and likely spot you before you can shoot him. At this point, there are no more guards for us to deal with, so we will take Emma to our next save point, the Twilight sniping section.
You know, that really looks good.
Start off by picking up the thermal goggles, and then take all your pentazamine. Afterwards, you'll go into first-person view with a weapon to respawn another pack of pentazamine. Then, take out your PSG-1 tranquilizer, and stand on top of the ammo box, which will infinitely respawn. Our first priority is to take out the mines near Emma, and then on the far right of the path. Use the thermal goggles and then shoot them out. Some may be a little tricky to hit, so don't be afraid to adjust your positioning. Keep in mind, when you're shooting ciphers, however, you cannot destroy them with the Tranquilizer variant. You need the regular PSG-1. During periods of slight downtime, try to take out any ciphers, guards, or claymores that are active, if you have not done so already. As Emma begins to approach the first strut, there are 3 guards that will appear. They will start from the top left, bottom right, and bottom left. Shoot them in that order to avoid having Emma take damage. Once Emma makes her way behind the strut, there will be a guard on the top left. Take him out. When Emma starts walking towards the second strut, there's going to be a cipher that you need to destroy right away, and another after you take out the guards when she gets halfway across. You'll take out the 3 guards from the top left, and bottom right. Do not worry if Emma gets spotted, it does not count as an alert. Once you take out the guards, make sure you take out the cipher to the left before it shoots Emma, otherwise it will take away a lot of health if it spots her. If Emma takes a bit of damage throughout this, it's okay. If she takes too much, then the Vamp 2 fight may potentially become unwinnable for you. As before, when Emma gets behind the second strut, another guard will appear in the top left. Just shoot him out. It's probably around this time that your aim will start shaking, so down the rest of your Phantasmine. We're not going to need it after this section. There are only a few more ciphers we need to take out, and then we are done. The second Vamp fight will start once Emma gets past the sun. As long as Emma has enough health, this fight is a joke regardless if you have turbo or not. Take out your PSG-1 tranquilizer and then any non-scope weapon. Go to where the ammo pack is, shoot Vamp's right leg repeatedly. If you do not have turbo, you can just mash the fire button and it will basically have the same effect.
I can't go.
That's it. That's the fight. Afterwards, we need to escape back to the Shell 1 core, starting from Strut E's lower level. We have 3 minutes, but that's more than enough time. Take out your M9 and your BDU equipped. There is only one guard that you'll need to take out at the far end of the room. Before we leave, however, we are going to quickly pick up the stun grenades underneath the conveyor belt on the top left of the room. If you have been following along, we should have 6 stun grenades at this point. We are going to use them entirely for the Tengu 1 fight. As usual for the EF connecting bridge, throw a chaff grenade and make your way out. As mentioned before, the bridge does not get repaired since the last time we were here, so you may need to walk along the side of the rail or hang over it some parts depending on the layout. I cartwheeled pretty well, so I only had a few broken panels. In any case, head down towards the elevator that is open and skip any cutscenes. You'll ignore any save prompts that come up as well. There are no guards, cameras, etc., so don't worry.
It's been a while, hasn't it, Jack the Ripper?
There is a
You know
brief
this fellow?
torture scene here from Solidus.
You remember me,
I'm not
don't
actually
you?
sure if you lose any
You've
health
grown.
if you don't mash, but regardless, I used turbo with the action
High
button just
concentration
to
of
guarantee
cerebral
not losing
implants.
anything if there was
Have
a
they altered
case.
your memory too?
Anyway, once you get control of Raiden, call Rose on the codec, then decline to save. This gives you control a little quicker than just waiting.
Olga, you can't keep this up. They're bound to find
A small
you.
piece of trivia that I learned
I'll free
after
you in a
completing
little
this
while.
run: the
Brace
damage that you
yourself.
take from Olga during this mandatory cutscene does not count towards your damage amount that you will see on the game over screen. Now, technically, since it's mandatory and we can't avoid it, it wouldn't really matter if it did count, but still something interesting to know. For this section, there is only one slightly difficult part, but messing it up basically causes a reset. Wait behind this box until the Tengu turns away, then run up the stairs. You can skip or ignore any codecs for now. There's no need to bring them up. Wait by these stairs behind the wall until the guard turns around. Then run to these boxes, lean against them, and crouch. The guard will not see you when he turns around. Wait behind this corner until the guard on the top left turns around, then cartwheel across this gap at the last second. It's a bit tight and it may take you some tries, but it's very much worth it. Afterwards, run alongside the wall to avoid the camera and other guard, then cartwheel to safety. At this point, you need to answer 5 codec calls to proceed, so answer them and skip through them as fast as possible. You can run around in the middle of the room until then. Finally, when Rose calls you, skip through the codex and cutscenes where Snake gives you back your gear. Afterwards, switch to the high-frequency blade, and then make sure it's on the non-lethal variant. Once you swipe the blade, the game will start a 45-second timer before proceeding to the Tengu 1 fight, which is our next save. This is the main reason why I prefer to save here rather than at the start of Arsenal Gear, because having to redo these cutscenes over and over again is extremely annoying, especially considering the Tengu 1 skip can be a little bit tough to do. Also, before you go into the Tengu 1 fight, it's at this point where I'd recommend putting your body armor on if you have not done so already. When the fight starts, we'll save our game and go to the next segment. Start the fight off by immediately running to the left side behind the boxes. This is a safe area where the Tengus will not be able to shoot you. Afterwards, take them out with the M9.
Don't fall behind.
Once you've taken them all out, equip your stun grenades and start lobbing them to where the second, third, and fourth waves would spawn. On the HD and Master Collection editions, grenades do take longer to explode, so you may need to wait a little bit longer or hide before moving up to each wave spawn. Once you get to the door, lean against it and go into first-person view. Do a full kick combo, and on the kick, release the first-person view button and hold up on the control stick. If you did this correctly, Raiden will skip into the next loading zone. This takes a lot of practice, and it can fail if a guard is near Raiden, as he will aim towards them. This is also why I recommend saving at the start of the fight, rather than at the start of Arsenal Gear. For the Tengu 2 fight, make sure your M9 and coolant are equipped. Start off the fight by tranking Snake immediately. You do this by holding down the auto-aim button, turn towards Snake, and shoot him. Go towards the door entrance and switch to your coolant, then spray the coolant back and forth to daze the Tengus. We'll do this for about 67 seconds. Afterwards, we're going to full kick the Tengu that's closest to us. If we do this correctly, the game will skip the rest of the fight and then proceed to the Metal Gear Ray section. If you do not have turbo, you will need to briefly release the fire button every few seconds to avoid going through the recharge animation for the coolant. If you do have turbo, then you don't need to do this. I don't know exactly why this skip works. When I asked in the Metal Gear Solid Speedrunner Discord, there was no concrete information known to the community. It may be a failsafe by the game to avoid a soft lock situation, but I can't say for certain. If, for whatever reason, you cannot do the skip, a normal strategy would be using the high-frequency blade to take out guards and also block shots. For this section, Snake is basically an aimbot, so he'll be doing a lot of the work anyway. We will save when the Metal Gear Ray fight starts. On Extreme and European Extreme, you will need to destroy 20 Rays. For this fight, I will be showcasing the Rose Loop, which simplifies the fight a lot more than usual. The loop is a bit tight and takes some practice, but it's very rewarding and not too difficult to do.
It's a development
Before the fight
program to
starts, make sure you have your
artificially
stinger
reproduce
equipped as a
Solid
previous
Snake,
weapon.
The perfect warrior. The result is a Foxhound Commando. When Foxhound no longer exists, a simulated Solid Snake shaped by VR regimen. Sound like someone you know, Jack? I'm sorry to see you reduced to one of the Patriots' puppets. But I've made use of you, and their plan too. Solid Snake's sudden appearance, your arrival. It was obvious the Patriots were among my ranks. I had to smoke out the agent before the mission entered the final phase. You came in handy, as bait. Jack, those days during the Civil War were as real as they come. Every day was absolute, split between life and death. You ran from it. And now you've been led back to war by something less than real.
Start the fight, run in front of the white line ahead of you. Shoot the middle ray's knee, then head. Then shoot the right ray, knee and head. Do the same for the left ray as well. Repeat this process again for the middle ray, right ray, left ray. For the third time, shoot the middle ray's knee and head, but then only shoot the right ray's head. Unequip the stinger and then run to this corner that has a stinger ammo pack. Stay on top of it, relatively. You need to be quick to avoid getting hit. Cartwheels are good for clearing distance. Otherwise, the ray's water cannon will one-hit kill you no matter what. Take out the ray in the arena, then the ray to the right. The third ray will jump in the arena, take him out as normal. You'll see a fourth and fifth ray start to spawn. You're going to attack the ray on the left, but you will never target the ray on the right. As a reminder, make sure you're standing on top of the stinger ammo pack as I positioned myself earlier. This way we will never run out of ammo. You will take out the RO4E ray, then shoot the new ray that spawns in on the left side twice. For the second shot, you're going to have to do a trick shot. This is done by firing a stinger and then locking onto the ray's knee. If you don't do this, you will get blocked by the ray in the arena. At this point, the loop is going to begin. Ignore the RO5E, otherwise known as the Rose Ray, to the right of you. Let's go over the process. New ray spawns in, shoot the knee, shoot the head. Wait for 3 stops, do a trick shot to the knee, then head. Ray jumps in, shoot the knee, then the head. 2 stomps, shoot the knee, shoot the head. Repeat the process. New ray comes in, shoot the knee, shoot the head. Do a trick shot to the knee, shoot the head. Ray jumps in, shoot the knee, shoot the head. 2 stomps, knee then head. We're going to repeat the process until all 20 rays are dead. The loop takes practice, but it is not too difficult, and it's also very satisfying once you've learned this. There is a video link in the description if you want a more detailed guide on it. Otherwise, enjoy the fight. If we follow this loop, the last ray that we will destroy is E01L.
awake yet, Jack?
This is the infamous Solidus
GW,
torture
the
sequence.
Arsenal AI
On the
is
original
corrupted
PC
beyond
release
repair.
of Metal Gear
I
Solid
admit
2,
that I
in
underestimated
European
you.
Extreme, this lasts for 50 seconds. To make sure you don't lose any health or oxygen, you have to mash at a rate of 9
I'll
times per
squeeze the
second.
answers out of you
This is
instead,
incredibly
my
stressful on
son.
your wrist, your controller, and for many people was a barrier in stopping them from completing the game. It is so bad and frustrating for speedrunners that it was cited as the main reason to allow for turbo in community speedruns. This sequence was also nerfed in the HD and Master Collection releases. I believe it was cut down to either 10 or 15 seconds. This is another testament to how ridiculous this segment was. Given that I didn't want to damage my controller, my wrists, or my fingers, I am using turbo for this sequence as well. I do understand some people may find this to be contentious, especially for a no damage run. I personally don't think it takes away from the rest of the video, but if you disagree, I do understand and respect your opinion.
What do you hope to hear?
Once
You
the
know he
sequence
doesn't
is
know
done,
anything.
no matter how you finish
It's
it,
not
we'll
him
skip through
I
the rest
want
of the
the answers
cutscenes,
from.
and then we are going to save at the start of the Solidus fight.
Be strong.
Once I load the save file, I immediately run off the cliff to show my game over stat screen. This screen keeps track of stats that you've incurred, such as the amount of ammo you've used, number of times saved, damage taken, etc. You can see under damage amount, the value is 0. This means, unless it was mandatory, I have not taken any damage throughout my run in this game. Afterwards, I go back to the title screen, reload the save file, and then start to fight Solidus properly. Solidus is not a difficult fight, and there are a few ways throughout the 2 phases that you can loop his AI, and I'll showcase them throughout this fight. For phase 1, you can loop him once you get an opening by swiping twice with the sword, doing a punch, and when he's about to recollect himself, swipe again. He'll block the attack and then do a kick. Block this kick, repeat the process over and over again with 2 swipes, 1 punch, swipe for him to block, and then repeat. If you accidentally knock down Solidus because you swiped too early, you can try to repeat the loop, or during the first phase, you can do this instead. Create some distance, and when Solidus starts to launch those rockets, you're going to cartwheel towards him, then swipe him repeatedly until he gets knocked down, create some distance, and repeat the loop. Both loops are fairly easy to do. The first one is definitely going to be quicker, especially if you're able to optimize it a bit more than I did, but they're both very easy and don't have a lot of execution required. In either case, you'll repeat this until he gets to the second phase.
Let's go. Let's go.
As a side note, if you get caught in the flames that Solidus leaves behind when he dashes away, you can switch to your BDU to put out the fire. And as an additional note, I wanted to make sure I tested, the fire absolutely takes away health very quickly if you don't put it out. So don't worry about getting nicked for damage that you don't notice. It will be very obvious.
Good work, Jack. But this is where it gets interesting.
During the second phase, Solidus is a lot more aggressive and will try to dash into you with either an elbow or multiple sword strikes. Face towards him while holding the block button to avoid taking damage from his attacks. The loop for his second phase is basically identical to the first one. You swipe twice at him when you get an opening, punch once, swipe just as he's about to recollect himself so he'll block your attack, block his attack with whatever he does, and then repeat the loop. Now that being said, if you're not getting the timing consistently and knock him down, do what I said earlier of holding the block button, face towards him while he's dashing, and then make sure you hold the block button entirely when he does his elbow or sword strikes, then repeat the process. One thing you may notice throughout this fight is that the camera can be very annoying, so if you find yourself at an angle that's uncomfortable, feel free to readjust yourself and then start attacking Solidus again. And with that final strike, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially completed Metal Gear Solid 2 on European
remember
Extreme
this place?
with game over if discovered.
Of course.
Lastly, with no
This is where we
damage
first met.
taken.
I remember now. Today is the day I met you.
There are a
That's
lot of
it.
people and resources I would like to give thanks to, but first off, I want to say thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't have a lot of video editing experience, so making this video, while a bit of a challenge, was also quite a bit of fun. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Metal Gear Solid Speedrunner Discord and Wiki for a lot of
think I
great
found
resources
something
that I
to pass
used
along
throughout
to the
this run.
future.
What?
I'd also especially like to thank
He said
my
all
friends
living
and my
things
partner
want
for
their
giving me a lot of
genes to
support
live
and
on.
encouragement throughout
Are you
making this
talking
video
about the baby?
and during the run itself.
Yeah.
It really meant a lot,
The
and
genes
I really
aren't the
appreciate
only
you
thing
guys.
we pass on. There are too many things that aren't written
Lastly,
into
I
our
would like to
DNA.
give shout out
It's
and
up to
thanks
us
to
to
various
teach that
Metal
to
Gear
our
Solid
children.
content creators
What
for the
kind of
ways that they
things?
tackled this game
About the
and how they
environment,
gave me some
our
various
ideas,
ideas
our
throughout my
culture,
run.
poetry, compassion.
This includes, but is not limited
joy.
to, Perfect Stealth,
We'll tell them
Masked
everything
Matador,
together.
House Test,
that a
D-Limes
proposal?
13, and many other content
This is
creators
for
who went
your
out of their way
ears.
to make a lot of great videos and strategies around Metal Gear Solid 2. In a certain way, this video would not have been possible without your ideas and your guides. My commentary for this run is now finished. Please feel free to enjoy or skip the credits. I have included in the description a timestamp where you can see my final rank of Big Boss. Thank you all very much. Have a great day.
I stare at the stars and the sky up above and think, what am I made of? Am I full of sorrow? Am I hurt and pain? Or am I filled with love? I walk by myself on the streets below and ask every child slip away. I'll find the joyfulness I'm looking for way back in yesterday. Why can't each of us in the world ever see the best things in life are free? Little sounds of laughter, a warm hug, a smile, a kiss from you to me. I fall to my knees, I cry and I cry. Love, do not pass me by. Happy ever after, please stay for a while. Make time refuse to fly. I can't say goodbye to yesterday, my friend, 'cause I know how good it has been. Facing forever, here I stand, come what may. Bring the old, bring the new, yesterday. It's there that I'll find inner peace, not war, and dreams that I let slip away. I'll find the joyfulness I'm looking for way back in yesterday.
life isn't just about passing on your genes.